Hello and welcome to Spotlight. This is Art Cortinell reading Don Pearce's Bible Prophecy in today's world news. Well, where does one begin? If we thought 2012 seemed a busy year for biblical prophecies to come into sharper focus, then 2013 looks even more full of promise. How exciting to be living in such momentous times when the culmination of so many millennia-old prophecies spring to life. Who would have thought, for instance, that the Pope would abdicate, or that his replacement would not only be non-European, but a Jesuit? And after the disappointment that Russia's involvement in Israel's energy market had been thwarted by the Leviathan Gasfield's partners choosing instead to have the Australian firm Woodside Petroleum to be their partner, we now appear to have Russia back in the fray with a winning bid to handle exports from the Tamar field. And who would have thought that the EU would use the language of Revelation 17 to describe their emergence as a strong power? It's incredible. However, we are not surprised to experience the growing tide of anti-EU feeling that is spreading through Britain, nor, from our scriptural understanding of Britain in latter-day Tarshish position, are we surprised at seeing Britain's drive to partnership with Israel and the Middle East. At last, we have a new government in Israel, but that had brought its own surprises. We greatly rejoice to see the evidence that we truly must be in the end times of Gentile dominion, and look with keen anticipation to our Master's return to prepare his brethren and sisters for that great work that lies ahead. In this spotlight, we will look at the events that have led to Pope Benedict's resignation and the election of Pope Francis. Problems in the Vatican. The situation in the Vatican is dire. Der Spiegel, a prominent German newspaper, carried the following headline in June the 15th, 2012, and I quote, "Exhausted in the Vatican, the final battles of Pope Benedict." The mood at the Vatican is apocalyptic. Pope Benedict seems tired, both unable and unwilling to seize the reins amid fierce infighting and scandal. While Vatican insiders jockey for power and speculate on his successor, Joseph Ratzinger has withdrawn to focus on his still ambiguous legacy. The Vatican is disintegrating into dozens of competing interest groups. In the past, it was the Jesuits, the Benedictines, the Franciscans, and other orders that competed for respect and sway within the Vatican court. But their influence has waned, and now they have been replaced primarily by the so-called new clerical communities that bring the large cheering crowds to masses celebrated by the Pope. The Neo-Catechumenati, the Legionaries of Christ, and the traditionalists of the Society of St. Pius X, and the priestly fraternity of St. Peter, not to mention the worldwide Santa Mafia of Opus Dei. They all have their open and clandestine agents in and around the Vatican, and they all own real estate and run universities, institutes, and other educational facilities in Rome. Various cardinals and bishops champion their interests at the Vatican, often without an official or recognisable mandate. At the Vatican, everybody is against everyone, and everyone feels that they have God on their side. Perhaps Benedict simply knows the Vatican too well, to seriously attempt to reform it. As Pope, this veteran curial insider has turned out to have virtually zero interest in actually running the Roman Curia. Writes John L. Allen, a biographer of the Pope. End of quote. This overlooks that Benedict is very shrewd of mind. His standing down was certainly carefully calculated to achieve reforms, as we shall see. Benedict steps down. Many column inches have been devoted as to why the Pope abdicated, and why just now. We have to go back 600 years to the last occasion when a Pope stepped down. That was in 1415, when Pope Gregory was forced to resign. It was a time of great turmoil, with 2, and at one stage 3, rival popes all claiming to be the successor of Peter. Yes, we know what a perversion of Bible truth that claim is, but let's go with it for now. It was known as the Western Schism, to distinguish it from the Great Schism or East-West Schism of 1054, when the Eastern Orthodox Church broke from the authority of the Roman Church. This division within the Roman Catholic Church lasted from 1378 to 1417. There was a pope in Rome and one in Avignon, and for a few years a third in Pisa. It was ended by Pope Gregory XII in Rome, stepping aside in 1414, and a new pope, Urban V, being elected. The Pisa Pope, John XXIII, fled, and the Council of Constance found him guilty on all counts of heresy, simony, schism, and immorality. The Avignon Pope refused to step down and was excommunicated in 1417, leaving Urban in power. Benedict's announcement came as he was delivering a homily in Latin. It took everyone by surprise. A few hours later, at 6 p.m. Rome time, St. Peter's was struck by lightning. At first I thought the pictures were photoshopped, but no, they were really genuine pictures. Why did he step down? We will look at this interesting question in our next Bible Spotlight on World News. This has been Art Cortinell reading Don Pearce's Spotlights, Bible Prophecy in Today's World News. Join us again next time for part 2, when we consider further how Bible prophecy is being fulfilled by world news today.